The first sign something was amiss came at 11:42 p.m. EST, when every satellite dish on Earth simultaneously pivoted 18 degrees northeast. At the National Observatory, Dr. James Miller spilled his third cup of coffee across his keyboard as readings went haywire. Radio frequencies crackled with interference patterns unlike anything ever recorded, and somewhere in the depths of NORAD, a red phone started ringing. Dr. Emily Brown was elbow-deep in a trauma case when the hospital's electronics flickered. The heart monitor skipped 3 beats before stabilizing, prompting her to bark. Someone better have a good explanation for that, or I'm cutting the IT department's coffee supply. 15 years of night shifts had honed her emergency room into a well-oiled machine, and she didn't appreciate interruptions. Across town at the Strategic Command Center, Captain Tom Wilson was experiencing his own version of midnight chaos. As an Insomniac turned military strategist, he'd learned to use his sleepless nights to humanity's advantage. Tonight, though, something felt different. The usual chatter of global military communications had gone eerily quiet, replaced by an otherworldly hum that made his skin crawl. "Sir?" Lieutenant Sarah Parker's voice crackled through his earpiece. "You need to see this." The wall of monitors before him lit up with images from every major observatory worldwide. There, hanging in the inky blackness of space, loomed shapes that defied earthly engineering. The Alpha ships, as they would later be known, had arrived with geometric precision, positioning themselves in a perfect grid pattern above Earth's major population centers. Their design spoke of methodical planning, each vessel identical down to the microscopic level, a testament to their builders' obsession with order. What the Alphas didn't understand, despite years of studying Earth, was that humans had long ago turned their nocturnal weaknesses into strength. Their research had shown them the basic patterns. Humans sleep at night, work during day, repeat. What their data failed to capture was the vibrant ecosystem of night shift workers, insomniacs, and perpetual procrastinators that kept Earth's civilization humming 24/7. Dr. Brown's hospital alone was a testament to this. As she finished suturing her patient, her team moved with practiced efficiency, their bodies running on a complex mixture of caffeine, dedication, and carefully scheduled power nap. They'd mastered the art of being alert when others slept, a skill the Alphas had fatally misinterpreted as a weakness. Captain Wilson understood this better than most. His command center operated around the clock, staffed by a rotating crew of military personnel who had turned sleep deprivation into an art form. As he studied the alien formations, he couldn't help but smile at their fundamental miscalculation. "They think we're vulnerable," he mused, watching the ships settle into position. "They've never seen a hospital at 3 a.m., or a college dormitory during finals week, or a global gaming tournament." He pulled up his secure communication channel, ready to coordinate with other sleepless defenders around the globe. The Alphas had spent decades analyzing Earth's rotation patterns, meticulously documenting our day-night cycle. Their research was thorough, their conclusions logical, and their strategies sound by their standard. What they failed to grasp was that humans had long ago broken free from the simple constraints of circadian rhythms, creating a complex tapestry of round-the-clock activity that defied their neat categorizations. As the clock ticked toward midnight, Earth's nocturnal warriors were already mobilizing, though not in any way the Alphas could comprehend. Emergency room staff checked inventory with practiced efficiency. Night shift factory workers manned their stations with quiet determination. Convenience store clerks continued their vigilant watch, and somewhere in the digital realm, millions of gamers adjusted their headsets, ready for what they would later describe as the ultimate raid. The invasion was about to begin, but humanity's midnight defenders were far from sleeping. They were, as Dr. Brown would later note in her memoir, just getting started. At precisely midnight Eastern Time, every screen on Earth, from Times Square billboards to smartphone displays, flickered to life with the same message. The Alpha commander's face, eerily human-like, but not quite right, filled each display. "People of Earth, your time of independence has ended. We have chosen this hour, when your species lies dormant, to begin our occupation. Resistance would be." The commander paused, consulting what appeared to be a translator. Futile. In New York's Times Square, a group of food delivery cyclists paused their routes to watch the announcement. Jimmy Chen, a veteran of the midnight delivery rush, looked at his phone, then at his fellow writers. Well, that's going to affect our tips. The global response was not what the alphas had anticipated. In London's all-night diners, truck drivers calmly finished their meals while planning alternative delivery routes around alien checkpoints. Tokyo's karaoke bars barely missed a beat, the singers simply incorporating the invasion announcement into their performances. At a 24-hour gym in Chicago, personal trainer Mark Thompson led his nocturnal clients through their usual routines. Alien invasion or not, leg day is leg day, he announced, adding, though I suppose we might need the extra strength. The first skirmish occurred at a Newark convenience store. Steve Patterson, working his usual graveyard shift, had dealt with every type of late-night customer imaginable. When 3 Alpha Scouts materialized by the slushy machine, he simply pointed to the "no shirt, no shoes, no service" sign. "Store policy," he said firmly, reaching for the baseball bat he kept under the counter. "Also, you're standing on a freshly mopped floor." The aliens' confusion at this response gave Earth's military forces precious time to organize. Captain Wilson had already activated Protocol Midnight Runner, a contingency plan he'd developed during particularly sleepless nights. "Get me every Insomniac in uniform," he ordered, "and someone find out if aliens can be affected by energy drinks." Dr. Brown's hospital transformed into an impromptu command center. "We already operate like we're in a war zone," she told her staff, distributing emergency protocols. "Only difference is now our casualties might have tentacles." The night shift advantage became immediately apparent. While the Alphas had expected to find cities filled with sleeping humans, they instead encountered an intricate network of awake, alert, and surprisingly unfazed people. Pizza delivery drivers formed the first reconnaissance network, using their intimate knowledge of back alleys and shortcut routes to monitor alien movement. Lisa Taylor, who'd been in the middle of leading a raid in World of Warcraft, smoothly transitioned her guild into coordinating real-world defense strategies. "It's just like a server-wide event," she explained to military officials, "except with actual aliens instead of digital ones." The first major counteroffensive came from an unexpected source. Susan Martinez, a university janitor working the night shift, discovered that the aliens had a severe reaction to common cleaning supplies. "Turns out they're allergic to bleach," she reported to Captain Wilson. "And you should see what happens when they encounter Pine Sol." Convenience stores became de facto resistance outposts, their employees using years of experience handling difficult customers to manage alien encounters. The 7-Eleven on 5th Street successfully repelled an alien advance, using nothing but the store's hot sauce collection and a strategically aimed slushy. By 2 a.m., Earth's nocturnal population had established a surprisingly effective defense network. Truck drivers coordinated supply lines, nurses shared medical intelligence about alien physiology, and a group of competitive gamers had hijacked an alien communication system. Because the controls are basically just like Xbox. The Alphas' carefully planned invasion began to Their research hadn't accounted for the night shift worker who knew exactly how to rewire their technology, or the graduate student who figured out their communication patterns while pulling an all-night, or the dedicated hospital staff who could function perfectly well at 3 a.m. on nothing but coffee and determined. As reports of successful resistance poured in, Captain Wilson allowed himself a small smile. "Send a message to all commands," he ordered. "Operation Nighthawk is in effect. Let's show these aliens why humans invented the graveyard shift." The first Global War Council took place on Discord. Of all places, Lisa Taylor's gaming server became the unofficial headquarters for Earth's resistance, with channels dedicated to everything from alien ship patterns to effective weaponry. Turns out, organizing 50 people for a raid boss is pretty similar to coordinating global defense, she explained to a bewildered UN representative. By 3 a.m., convenience stores worldwide had transformed into a network of The fluorescent-lit outposts, normally home to midnight snack runs and emergency coffee supplies, now served as impromptu command center. At a Circle K in Phoenix, night clerk Tom Baker used his store's security cameras to track alien movements, marking their patterns on a map normally used for pizza deliveries. "They're creatures of," he reported to Captain Wilson. "They pass by every 20 minutes, always taking the same route. Just like my regular customer sex, except these ones glow in the dark. The gaming community's contribution proved invaluable. Years of coordinating across time zones and running complex strategic operations translated surprisingly well to actual. A team of Korean StarCraft players took control of the air defense systems, their actions per minute proving more than a match for alien reflex. It's just micromanaging, explained professional gamer Dave Park, his fingers flying over the keyboard as he coordinated drone strikes. Except now the graphics are really good and the lag is The 24-hour diner network became another unexpected asset. Waitresses who could balance 8 plates while remembering 20 different orders turned out to be excellent at coordinating supply line. Betty White, a veteran of 30 years of night shift serving, organized a continent-wide distribution network using nothing but her order pad and her regular customers' trucking route. "Honey," she told an alien who materialized by the counter, "I've been dealing with drunk college students at 3 a.m. for decades. You don't scare me." She then proceeded to short-circuit its weapons system with a well-aimed pot of coffee. Underground parking garage attendants emerged as crucial intelligence gatherers. Their knowledge of every car and its owner's schedule helped identify alien infiltrators attempting to blend. Mike Roberts, working his usual shift at Downtown Plaza, caught 3 Alpha Scouts simply because their parking was too perfect. Hospital staff worldwide coordinated through their existing emergency networks. Brown's discovery about the aliens' caffeine vulnerability spread rapidly, leading to the development of what became known as the espresso protocol. Emergency rooms began stockpiling coffee supplies alongside traditional medical equipment. Night shift factory workers retooled their production lines with remarkable efficiency. A toilet paper factory in Wisconsin switched to producing anti-alien barriers within hours. "The principles are basically the same," explained floor manager Sarah Johnson. "We're still on a roll." The most surprising development came from the international network of night shift IT work. Used to solving complex problems while everyone else slept, they cracked the alien communication code during their usual system maintenance. "Look," explained Randy Thompson, lead systems administrator at a tech firm. "When you've spent enough nights debugging code." Plus, they clearly never had to deal with legacy systems. By 4 a.m., Earth's nocturnal workforce had established a functioning resistance network that the Alphas couldn't comprehend. Convenience store clerks relayed intelligence to gaming squads, who coordinated with delivery drivers to set up ambushes. Hospital staff developed countermeasures while diner workers maintained supply. Captain Wilson watched in amazement as reports flowed in from this impromptu army of night owls. "We've got cat cafes in Japan using their nocturnal residents as alien detectors," he told his staff. "The cats apparently hate their smell." The Alphas, expecting to find a dormant civilization, instead encountered a complex ecosystem of people who had mastered the art of operating, while others, their carefully planned invasion, was being unraveled by humans who considered 3 a.m. a perfectly reasonable time to be. "The thing about night shift workers," Dr. Brown observed while treating a soldier's alien-inflicted wounds, "is that we've already accepted that normal rules don't apply. What's an alien invasion compared to 8 straight hours of emergency room care?" The turning point came at 4:27 a.m. when a group of engineering students at MIT, running on nothing but Red Bull and determination, cracked the aliens' shield frequency. They weren't trying to save the world, they were just procrastinating on their fluid dynamics. "Look," explained Jennifer Thompson, bleary-eyed and surrounded by empty energy drink cans, "their shield modulation follows the same principles as our term. We just had to reverse the polarity, and..." She paused to yawn. "Basically, we turned their own technology into a giant coffee." Captain Wilson immediately recognized the potential. Within minutes, he had connected the MIT team with gaming squads worldwide, who adapted the shield-breaking technique into their existing strategy framework. "It's just like speedrunning," explained Marcus Chen, a prominent esports player. "You find the exploit, share it with the community, and everyone optimizes it until it's perfect." His team had already developed 15 different variations of the shield break technique, each more efficient than the. The global coordination revealed the true strength of Earth's night shift advantage. As cities went dark in one time zone, another was hitting its nocturnal strike. London's 3 a.m. crowd handed off operations to New York's midnight warriors, who passed the baton to Los Angeles' evening. Dr. Brown's hospital network became crucial in understanding the enemy's weaknesses. Their biology is fascinating, she reported during a global briefing. They're highly advanced, but they never developed resistance to caffeine because their planet has no equivalent. We're basically hitting them with millions of years of evolutionary advantage every time we deploy the coffee can. The convenience store network, now dubbed Operation Midnight Run, proved invaluable. Store clerks used their experience with inventory management to coordinate supply lines with military personnel. We already know how to stock 18 different energy drink varieties while handling drunk customers at 2 a.m., explained night manager Rob Jackson. This is just Thursday with better special effects. College campuses worldwide transformed into resistance strongholds. Students who regularly pulled all-nighters now applied their sleep-deprived creativity to warfare. A philosophy major at Oxford developed psychological warfare techniques based on existential paradoxes. Computer science students at Stanford reprogrammed gaming laptops into alien tech hacking devices. The aliens don't understand how we function, observed psychology student Emma Parker while coordinating a defense operation from her dorm's common. They keep expecting us to crash, but they don't realize we've been training for this our entire academic career. The Alphas' rigid military structure proved to be their downfall against humanity's chaotic but effective nocturnal operation. Their synchronized attacks were met with unpredictable resistance from people who had mastered the art of functioning at odd hours. Pizza delivery drivers created a shadow transportation network, using their knowledge of back alleys and shortcuts to move supplies past alien patrol. Same principle as getting a pizza delivered in 30 minutes during rush hour, shrugged veteran driver Mike O'Brien. Except now we're delivering EMP grenades. The gaming community's contribution reached its peak when Lisa Taylor's guild coordinated a simultaneous global counter. Using tactics perfected in virtual worlds, they orchestrated a complex operation involving forces from every time. It's basically a world-first raid attempt, she explained to military brass. Except instead of server lag, we're dealing with actual alien death rays. Her guild's strategy document, complete with color-coded positioning and buff timings, became the template for Earth's military response. The decisive moment arrived when Dr. Brown's team discovered how to weaponize energy drinks. Their cellular structure can't handle the combination of caffeine, taurine, and whatever else is in these things, she reported. Honestly, I'm not sure human cells should either, but we've built up a tolerance. Captain Wilson authorized Operation Awakeninga, coordinated attack, using the world's strategic reserves of energy drinks and coffee. Night shift workers everywhere contributed their personal stashes to the war effort. Baristas became munitions experts, converting their equipment into high-pressure caffeine delivery system. The Alphas never saw it coming. Their sophisticated sensors, calibrated for conventional weapons, failed to detect the approaching wave of weaponized beverages. Their shields, designed to repel energy weapons, offered no protection against the molecular onslaught of triple-shot espressos. In the end, Captain Wilson would later write in his report, "It wasn't our military might that won the war. It was every person who ever had to stay awake when their body was begging for sleep. Every student facing a morning deadline. Every nurse working a double shift. Every gamer pushing for one more round. They were the real heroes." As dawn approached, the Alphas faced an enemy they couldn't comprehend, a species that had turned sleep deprivation into an art form. Their perfectly planned invasion crumbled against the chaotic efficiency of Earth's nocturnal defenders. The counterattack succeeded not through superior technology or overwhelming force, but through the combined efforts of millions who had mastered the art of turning exhaustion into productivity. As the sun began to rise, Earth's night shift warriors prepared to demonstrate why humans had invented the concept of pulling an all-nighter. The final battle began at 5:47 a.m., just as the first hints of dawn touched the eastern horizon. The Alpha commander, watching from their flagship, finally understood their catastrophic miscalculation. Their sensors showed human activity not declining through the night as expected, but steadily increasing. In Times Square, baristas from competing coffee shops united to form the Caffeine Coalition, turning their espresso machines into high-pressure weapons. The familiar hiss of steam now accompanied the disabling of alien shield generators. Emma Garcia, a veteran barista of 15 years, led the charge with her signature Movia quintuple shot she'd named The Awakening. "You think this is strong?" she challenged a struggling alien warrior. "This is nothing compared to what we served during finals week." Captain Wilson coordinated the global offensive from his command center, now relocated to a 24-hour diner, because, as he put it, the coffee's better, and Betty makes pancakes while we plan strategy. The displays showed a world united in sleepless resistance convenience stores. In Tokyo, coordinating with food trucks in Chicago, night shift factory workers in Berlin, synchronizing with casino security in Las Vegas. Dr. Brown's discovery about the aliens' caffeine vulnerability had evolved into a sophisticated weapons. The hospital's biochemistry lab, usually dedicated to analyzing late-night emergency cases, had engineered what they called the Insomnia Initiative, a weaponized version of every energy drink known to humans. "It's beautiful, really," Dr. Brown explained while preparing another batch. "We took everything that keeps humans awake and combined it into something that completely disrupts their neural patterns. Plus, it tastes like blue." The gaming community orchestrated the digital assault. Lisa Taylor's guild, now expanded to include players from every time, executed what they called Operation Server Crash. Years of experience in coordinating complex raid strategies proved invaluable in managing a global military operation. "The principle is the same," Lisa explained to a general while her team disabled another alien communications. "Everyone has their role. You have to coordinate across time zones. And there's always someone who forgets to install the latest patch." The Alpha ships, their sophisticated technology rendered useless by a combination of hacked energy drinks and repurposed coffee machines, began to their perfectly orchestrated invasion had been undone by humanity's most chaotic yet effective demographic, people who were awake when they should. In what would later be known as the Midnight Maneuver, a coalition of pizza delivery drivers executed a complex flanking operation using their intimate knowledge of city shortcuts. Led by veteran driver Joe Martinez, they disrupted alien supply lines using nothing but moped agility and an understanding of traffic patterns that even GPS couldn't. "You think you know these?" Joe taunted over a captured alien frequency. "I've been delivering pizzas here since before you reached our solar system. I can get anywhere in this city in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed." The convenience store network proved crucial in the final hours. Steve Patterson, still manning his register despite the alien war raging outside, coordinated supply lines using his store's inventory management system. "It's just like restocking during a holiday rush," he explained while directing a tactical unit through his store's back alley. "Except instead of energy drinks, we're moving EMP generators." College students worldwide, their all-nighter expertise, finally finding a practical application, developed increasingly creative solutions. A group of art students weaponized their coffee-stained sketches, discovering that the combination of caffeine residue and creative frustration could short-circuit alien technology. "It makes perfect sense," explained Jenny Chen, a sleep-deprived architecture major. "We've been surviving on coffee and creativity for years. Now we're just doing it with higher stakes." The Alpha commander, facing imminent defeat, requested a parlay at sun. Captain Wilson chose a Waffle House as the meeting location. "Because if you're going to surrender to humanity's nocturnal warriors, you should do it where we're strong." The scene was surreal: alien diplomats seated in vinyl booths, surrounded by tired but triumphant humans nursing their coffee cups. The terms of surrender were negotiated over plates of hash browns and endless coffee refills. "You fundamentally misunderstood our species," Captain Wilson explained to the bewildered Alpha commander. "Humans don't just survive at night. We've turned sleep deprivation into an art form. Every college student, every new parent, every night shift worker. You didn't attack us at our weakest. You attacked us when we're at our most creative, our most resilient, our most caffeinated." The aftermath brought unexpected changes to human society. The United Nations established the Department of Nocturnal Defense, staffed entirely by Insomniacs and night shift veterans. Coffee was officially classified as a strategic resource. Gaming guilds began receiving military consulting. Dr. Brown's hospital created a new special toxinobiology with a focus on caffeine-based weaponry. "We're preparing for the next time someone underestimates Earth's night," she explained, while training a new generation of medical professionals in the art of weaponized coffee brew. The convenience store clerks received special commendations, their stores officially designated as strategic defense locations. Steve Patterson's no-shirt, "No shoes, no service" sign was preserved in the Smithsonian, alongside the first coffee maker, converted into an alien shield disruptor. Lisa Taylor's Gaming Guild transformed into an elite military training unit, teaching tactical coordination through what they called raid theory. Their training from spawn points to save points. Gaming strategies in modern warfare became required reading at military academy. The Alpha invasion changed humanity's understanding of itself. The night shift, once seen as a necessary inconvenience, was recognized as one of Earth's greatest defensive assets. Cities began celebrating Night Owl Day, commemorating those who had turned their irregular sleep schedules into a planetary defense strategy. But perhaps the most significant change was in how humanity viewed its nocturnal population. No longer were they just the people who kept civilization running while others slept. They were recognized as the first line of defense against any future invasion. The Alpha's defeat entered galactic records with a simple warning: approach with extreme caution. Local species has weaponized sleep deprivation and exhibits dangerous levels of caffeine tolerance. Planetary defense capabilities highest during presumed rest hours. In the years that followed, Earth's night shift continued their vigilant watch. Coffee shops maintained their modified espresso machines, just in case. Gaming guilds included planetary defense scenarios in their raid rotations. Convenience store clerks kept one eye on their security cameras and another on the stars. Dr. Brown still keeps a framed copy of the alien surrender document in her ER, right next to the hospital's industrial-grade coffee maker. It reminds us, she tells new residents, that sometimes the strongest warriors are the ones who've mastered the art of staying awake. Captain Wilson retired but continues to consult for the military's Night Operations Division. His memoir, The Midnight Strategy: How Earth's Insomniacs Saved Humanity, became a bestseller, particularly popular among college students pulling all-nighters. The moral of the story spread through the galaxy. Never underestimate a species that invented triple-shot espressos, 24-hour convenience stores, and energy drinks. But more importantly, never assume that just because someone should be sleeping, they... As for humanity's nocturnal defenders, they went back to their regular routines, manning emergency rooms, delivering late-night pizzas, keeping the world running while others... But now they do it with a slight smile, knowing that somewhere in the vast darkness of space, other civilizations think twice before attacking Earth at midnight. Because when the sun sets on our world, it doesn't mean we're vulnerable. It means our night shift is just getting